Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Katamari Forever. Today, I have something bland with me.
Hi, I'm Blastinus.
Welcome, Blastinus. Today, we're going to be rolling up the first King level. So, Blast, have you ever played a Katamari game before?
Not in my life.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've shown off a little bit of this when I first got my capture card for recording. What did you think of what you had seen?
I thought it was amazing.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's the exact same sort of attitude a game like this should have.
Yeah, it's a pretty, out there game, but it definitely just goes with what it has. So, today we're using the first cousin we picked up, Cousin Dangle, who is completely new for Katamari Forever. The game only introduced 2 new cousins, and he's one of them.
Wow, isn't he so special?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the cousins from this game. They're interesting in their own way, but they kind of deviate from the usual style a bit.
I did kind of wonder, how is Cousin Dangle going to roll that ball if he's constantly, hanging like that?
He's actually walking on his arms, and you will see once the level actually begins, if you look in the lower corner, it actually shows how the cousins are moving at any given time, so keep an eye on that.
Oh, this is going to be special.
So, the king is giving us our instructions, but you can see that it's actually a thought bubble, because he's still asleep. That's something that I really appreciate about this game.
I see. And I noticed that the loading screen bouncing around a lot like that. Are you doing that?
No, it automatically bounces around, but if you move the left control stick, you move the head, and if you move the right control stick, you can move the letters.
Oh,
So the King's levels are all direct references to previous levels. This is just ripped straight up from one of the previous games.
I see. So, we're just going to be rolling up sweets again?
Yes. There's almost nothing but sweets in this level, and we have to get enough to roll up Hansel and Gretel there. This is pretty easy because you basically can just roll into this house here, grab everything, get big enough to grab the heart in the level, and pretty much just go back into the house and roll up even more, but I decided to take a slightly different approach to it.
Oh, that's great. Like, even the flowers are... They're kind of like lollipop flowers.
Yeah, each one of those, they're not all unique, but there's like 3 different kinds, I believe? And the royal present for this level is riding on the back of the witch's broom. I don't remember if I grabbed it. I definitely tried to, but... The time limit isn't super strict for this level. Compared to some, it's pretty easy, but getting a decent score on it requires rolling up almost everything. Which, if you're not using the super roll, takes some time.
Have we seen the super roll before?
Yeah, I showed it off a little bit. That's the one where you flick the sticks back and forth really quickly, and it just launches you forward. I don't use it all the time. It is one of the more efficient ways to move, but the larger your Katamari gets, the worse it is. And there's the cousin for this level. She's hanging out right behind the house.
Well, honey, that seems appropriate for this level.
Yeah, she's got an interesting design.
Well, it kind of looks like we're running out of sweets here. Are we actually going to be able to grow again?
No, I believe this is the largest you can get. I could actually go pick up Hansel and Gretel at this point.
But you still need the
there's
witch.
There's the super roll right there. It was that you see the little speed marks show up and...
Oh, you got the present.
Yeah. I recorded this about a week ago at this point, so I don't remember everything in it. But yeah, this level ends the minute you pick up Hansel and Gretel. So...
And so I assume that you spend the rest of the time just picking up everything else on the level?
Yeah, you can... I could have spent more time gathering everything, and I would have gotten possibly up to 120. I'm not sure how time plays a factor into this one.
Well, I remember reading from the thread that in order to get a shooting star, you have to get you're under the target time.
Yeah, I was not aware of that, but I never really focused on the shooting stars. I thought they were just a thing that happened. So, objects can fall under more than one category, I believe.
Wait,
It's just that most of them only fall under one.
why is it that children was one of the high categories? You only get picked up 2.
Because there were only 3 types of things in that level. There were only the candy, or sweets, fantasy, and children.
I see. And I assume the witch fell under fantasy?
Yes.
Wow, the king's a bit of a slave driver, isn't he? Like,
Yeah, if you don't get a perfect 100, he'll still kind of insult you a little bit. So the royal present is basically just a nose you can stick on your cousin. It's not the most interesting thing. I don't think I've used it ever. There are a couple of presents that when I pick them up, I'm going to use them. So,
oh come on, who wouldn't want to stick a funny little nose on their playable character?
because it takes up the head slot, and there is a much better present for the head slot.
Oh, I'm eager to see what that is.
And we have another one of these little cutscenes. They don't happen after every level, but they happen frequently enough that it's nice when they show up.
Have we seen the queen up to this point?
She was in the intro. Most of these cutscenes on the king's side involve trying to wake the king up and him just getting brutalized by stuff.
I'm down with that. The king's a jerk.
Yeah. Beautiful Katamari explains why, which is part of the reason why I don't like that game. It was funnier when he was just a jerk because he was a jerk.
But now he's a jerk because for reasons.
Yes. And so with that, we've finished the level for today. Next time, it's another Robo King level. So there's going to be a theme, but it's going to just be another roll as big as you can in a time, I believe. I should double check that before I say things like that, but join me next time.
Alright. I won't see you then.